Top Billing.
This week on Top Billing, and the show comes to you tonight from a set of top seaside apartments where high-tech isn't an accessory, it's a necessity.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Top Billing. In Camps Bay, where arresting views and prime location pretty much come standard, you need to work really hard to stand out amongst the showstopper homes, or work smart. One design and architecture duo decided not so much on thinking outside the box as they did on making the box itself a very smart piece of high-tech hardware.
With a north view of the Atlantic seaboard, a backdrop of the 12 Apostles, and a short walk to the cosmopolitan Cafe Society of Camps Bay, these apartments embrace the best of a contemporary lifestyle. Add some of the most innovative design on the market, and you have 6-star living.
So what were some of the challenges of developing this particular site?
It's a very sensitive area. The neighbors are incredibly passionate about what they have, and they're very protective of everything as well. So we had to negotiate with a lot of neighbors. And some of the physical challenges was working on a site which is irregular, and this huge big rock upon which the site was originally standing.
And Jacques, from a decor perspective?
Joanne, if you look at the interior, we kept it quite simple, elegant, minimalistic, signature pieces here and there, splashes of color, but only on accent places, and nothing to obstruct this beautiful Camps Bay view we have here.
Greg, I've heard that every apartment is different.
You're quite right. Can I show you?
Perfect. See you later.
This is the largest of the 4 units. This was designed very much around having a good time, being sociable. The bar is a bar that serves onto a pool. The glass slides back and you're able to serve martinis to anybody who's having a good time in the water.
Oh, it just keeps getting better. Show me more.
Okay, over here, we tried on each of the apartments is to do something very unique with the design of the kitchen. So every counter and the way that the design of the kitchens are done is around trying to give a kind of a signature piece which is representative of each apartment. And then what we try to do over here is to try and open it up a little bit more by using glass, so that while you're having a great evening with your friends and socializing, you're able to look through and enjoy the view in the back. And then what we did is to put all the bedroom and private spaces down below, which is quite different to all the others, where there's a combination of both.
The apartments are geared for those who appreciate exceptional design and technology on tap.
Ah, beautiful.
This is something different. What we tried to do here was to work with a slightly smaller apartment. It's got a bedroom at the back there, and then coming out onto the terrace is this pool with views across towards the ocean. The kitchen is dealt with slightly differently. It's a little bit more compact, and it doesn't have a bar like the other one does.
So less partying here, more restfulness.
Much more.
The Rimflow pools are alternatives to a rather chilly dip in the sea, but the real design coup is in maximizing limited space.
So in this one, this is one of the smaller apartments. It's on 1 floor. It's really 1.5 bedrooms. And what we tried to do here was make a much more contained, more livable unit that feels a little bit more intimate and comfortable. It's a much darker palette, using glass obviously, so because it relates to everything else that we've done. And then what we also tried to do over here was to try and be clever with space and have something where it works with the living space that can be closed off and made as like a little study or a little living room, and then becomes almost like a second bedroom.
The apartments are contemporary and elegant, but their secret lies in the hidden assets, from solar heating to other power-saving technology. Colors subtly change the mood of each level.
After seeing all the apartments, this is the one that I'd pick to live in.
Joanne, this is definitely the ultimate in penthouse style living.
And this kitchen, I mean, with this view, I could actually whip up quite a cooking storm in there.
The beauty about this kitchen is all the integrated appliances. Let me go and show you.
Perfect.
Touch the drawer.
Ooh.
All electronic.
Oh, I like.
Isn't this something?
Ta-da. But if this is electronic, what happens if the power cuts out?
I think we order takeaways when that happens.
I like that.
But don't worry, there is a backup battery system.
Okay, perfect.
The use of glass gives the space light, fluid lines. White oak floors and Italian designs, set to become modern collectibles, integrate the architecture with the interiors.
Greg created this beautiful space for us to play with and not do the conventional. We selected some pieces from Capellini, one of the oldest Italian designer brands.
The pieces are almost childlike and playful.
They are. These pieces are actually not just furniture pieces, they are collectibles, they are investment art. And the blue color just makes this whole room pop because everything is just a white color.
Absolutely.
There you guys are.
Greg, this apartment has a very high-tech feel to it.
Yes, it's much more than just looking high-tech. It really is a high-tech apartment. Lights go on and off as you walk into rooms, and the entire thing is trying to conserve energy where we can.
It almost seems to think for itself.
Well, that's part of the idea, so that you can actually customize your lifestyle around particular events. So if you want to have a party, the system works like that. If you want something quiet and romantic, you can program it to do all those things.
So you just have to teach it to make its own martinis.
The next one will get right.
It's no place for four-legged guests, unless they're purely decorative, but it's faultless in every other way. The two elements the architects and designers can't bend to their will are the weather and that view.
Greg, as an architect, do you feel that you've achieved what the client envisaged?
We have, and it's been one of the more successful projects for us because whilst there's always a budget and there's a limit, the aspirations that we both had have been achieved both by the client and ourselves. We've done something that is a little bit more out there and something a little bit different. We've explored new materials, we've done things that we haven't done before, and it really does kind of start to epitomize something of the lifestyle that we've hoped to achieve in Barney Bay.
While these intelligent apartments respond to people by dimming lights, playing music and bringing down their blinds in the heat of the day, they also get top marks for glamour, defined as something with an air of compelling charm, romance and excitement. Or in days gone by, something that casts a magic spell.
Next up,
In fashion, Trini and Susanna of television's What Not to Wear have become world famous for editing wayward wardrobes down to a definitive individual look. So making them hosts of Cape Town's Style in the City fashion and beauty extravaganza, all but guaranteed it'd be standing room only. Well, the concept of thinking big having become a little bit of a hackneyed phrase, it takes someone like artist Daniel Popper to restore meaning to these words, which with these 7-meter tall animated puppets he has duly done. And at our latest Top Billing Artist Workshop, he inspired a few pint-sized artists to follow his lead. From famed castles and markets to the secret of thoroughbred Irish racing champions, we're en route from Dublin to Cork right after this. Visitors to Ireland are drawn from across the world to visit renowned places like Blarney Castle, home of the Blarney Stone, and to the Republic's famous English Market. Apart from these gems of the Emerald Isle, we chanced upon another in the form of the Irish National Stud Farm and decided to take a peek behind closed stable doors. To paraphrase Scottish poet Robert Burns, what a gift it would be to see ourselves as others see us. Entire industries from advertising to communications and marketing are built on this very idea, and for her latest book club, Bassie invited leading brains in the field to discuss a new book on communicating our nation's brand. Now you've waited, maybe even wavered, you voted, perhaps even wagered on which couple would be the last man and woman standing in our amazing 500,000 Rand winner wedding competition. Well, we have our winners. All that remains is for us to tell them. Now, if you're really lucky, you'll be one of the invited guests to their fantastic Winelands wedding. But if the guest list full, never fear, because naturally we'll be there to bring it all to you. A big thank you to everyone who voted, and please stay in touch via our website, Facebook and Twitter to catch the next extraordinary Top Billing competition. Until next week, good night and God bless.